Well, you're watching The Watchful Citizen, and our guest today is Max Yashirin. Yashirin, I'll get it right someday. He is running for Congress for District Number 1, and he's a great candidate. We're having a wonderful conversation here. And you were talking about keeping students in this state. What about the issue of the cost of a college education?
It's gone up quite a bit, and what I see happening, just from my experiences, my personal experience, it just seems to me like the university raises the tuition rate on the students. You know, it's really hard to pay as it is, and it's really expensive. And I think it's hard to deal when they jack it up 7% once every single year. I mean, that's more than the inflation rate was for the last few years. But it's sad to see that that goes up, because it really takes away the possibility for more people to actually get that college education. Mm-hmm. It really does, and it really blocks a lot of people out that would like to, but the price tag keeps them out of it. And so I think that's something that does need to be addressed, and it really does need to be addressed even on the military level even. So.
Even if you have military benefits, yeah. It's still very costly.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you go to IAVA or votevets.org or any of those sites, that's what they're trying to do. And I think the new bill that just got passed is actually will address some of those issues. Mm-hmm. Because you have schools now that are out, you know, their tuition outpaces anything that the military can even provide to those active duty service members that do want to go get an education, let's say at Stanford or somewhere else that mm-hmm. where it costs $30,000 a semester or something like that. Mm-hmm. Those benefits don't even come close to meeting that. And mm-hmm. what's really sad to me about that is, you know, back after World War II, we had all those brave men and women that came back. Mm-hmm. And we sent them to college, a lot of them. And they were able to go on, and they were the ones that really drove and created the successful economy that we had here in this country. Mm-hmm. And that's what we need again. Absolutely.
Definitely. Definitely. Well, you were talking some about gas prices a little bit ago. Mm-hmm. What do you think about this yo-yo of gas prices these days? What are your thoughts on that?
I just think a lot of it is supply and demand. I mean, we've seen the price go down about 40 cents in the last month or so, and with the whole Hurricane Gustav basically around the corner here, mm-hmm. we can see that the prices are going to go back up. And honestly, I really do think that it's yo-yoing. We're letting it yo-yo because we've really lost our energy independence in this country. I mean, what we really need to be focusing on, we're going to have this yo-yo effect if we don't address the root cause, mm-hmm. and that is our independence on energy. I mean, we really need to look at everything that we can do in this country, you know, from biodiesel to ethanol to switchgrass to any of those, to wind. I mean, in this state alone, I mean, we should be number 6. I mean, we have the 6th windiest state in the country, I believe. Mm-hmm. And we're ranked like number 20. We're not producing, we could do so much more with that, and we're not. And mm-hmm. We definitely need to address that, because all those factors working together, not just drilling for oil, could wean us off that oil and actually help stabilize the price of oil and energy, in effect. So, and especially going into this winter, this fall and this winter, it's going to be a very cold winter, I believe, and I think a lot of families, a lot of hardworking Nebraska families and mm-hmm. American families are really going to be suffering with the, you know, the added fees that are going to be associated with the cold winter. So mm-hmm. I don't know.
Well, it sounds like you have a really pro-family platform. Do you feel that way?
I feel that way. You know, I grew up in a very family-oriented house, very musical also.
That's cool.
My mother, like I said, she's a teacher, and so that's why, to me, education is very important. I think that's mm-hmm. something that investment in our education is an investment in our own economic future in this country, period. And I forgot what was I going to say.
Well, I was going to ask you, as we talk about families, do you embrace the diversity of families, mm-hmm. Gay and lesbian and transgendered and bisexual individuals and the families they may form? What mm-hmm. are your thoughts on that?
A family, basically, families is everything that you make it to be. A family doesn't necessarily have to be made up of the father figure, the mother figure, and the children. I mean, and that's a very it is the traditional way of looking at a family, and for a lot of people it works. But if you look at the overall picture and, you know, how modern our world has become and where we have actually come, we really need to embrace all the other ways of what the definition of family means. And it really encompasses a lot more than just the mother and the father and the children. You know, it's more than that. I call my friends, we're all family, you know. It's, you know, my military, that's my family. You know, you can look at it any way you want, but at the end of the day, I don't believe anybody has a right to tell anybody else in this country what their definition of family should be.
That's very good.
So.